Sup guys, Surf here, and today I'm gonna be making a simple gun in Gmod and showing you how to do so. So our example here is gonna be this gun I made a while ago. It's a monster energy gun, it's pretty cool. And you can like turn it around, you can aim where you want, and then you just click T, and it'll not only shoot a projectile, but it'll also enable this chainsaw right here, which will be very lethal for enemies in close range. So the first thing you want to do is to basically just find a base for a weapon, right? So you'll find yourself a handle for it, right? This is a very wacky handle, I know, but it'll work, right? It kind of looks like one as well, right? Next, you'll keep on adding to the handle, right? And until you kind of get a personality to the gun, until you get this space, right? And keep in mind, if you want to be able to do things like this, make things go through each other, use the no collide tool right here on the tool gun section. You'll just simply have to place two props, right? Left click between them after each other, right? And then you'll be able to make them go through each other. So if I want to add something to this thing, I'll simply just left click this to everything that's on here. Then it'll go right in just fine. An alternative way to do this is to just place it down and then right click it, and then it'll be able to go through everything on the map. But keep in mind, it'll also go through like other things that you don't want it to go through. Unless you don't mind that, you can simply just right click it and then have it in, right? So we got all the pieces there, but now we have to make sure that they're glued together, like that this is one singular thing. This we do by going on the constraint section and clicking on weld. There you should place the force limit all the way at 0. This will make it so that these parts cannot go apart from each other. That means they'll be glued together and will stay glued together. So we'll just glue everything to this singular block and double check if everything's glued together by using the duplicator tool, which is pretty much just copy pasting it, but it's a pretty good way to check if you've glued everything together, because you can like click here, and if it spawns the whole thing, that means it's all glued together properly. So now that we have the gun itself, why don't we add the projectile for it to shoot? So as you can see here, I placed two explosives on each side of the gun, which is gonna be our projectile to shoot. The reason I chose these is because like it's pretty much shaped like a missile. It's really aerodynamically shaped, and also it's explosive, and who doesn't like explosives? As you can see, there's a wide variety of props to use. It's all personal preference. You can choose an explosive prop, or you can go for something like less explosive, but that's completely up to you. So now that you got the projectile, you're gonna want it to actually be like welded to the gun, so that you can duplicate it to save it for another time. But you may be asking, that'll just make it completely stick to the gun. Well, that's why you go on to like weld, of course, and put the force limit at a pretty high number. I'd say 1000, or maybe even higher, depends on how fast you want the projectile to shoot. And you're then gonna weld it to like something on the gun. This will make it so that yes, it will be able to fall off if you move it a lot, but if you have an issue that if it falls off like immediately when you move it, you should just put the force limit higher and put the thruster also higher. And speaking of thrusters, that's gonna be our way to shoot the projectile. So thrusters pretty much just thrust things forward. It's basically kind of a rocket engine thing that just shoots things forward. So you'll want to duplicate it, just double check, yep, it's glued together. And you're gonna place a thruster pretty much on the middle here. So remember that you'll choose which buttons you'll click to like shoot it forward right here. So if you wanted to, so you should right click the button at the right, okay, which will remove any binds to it. And you'll left click the button to the left to choose which keybind you wanted to shoot forward with. There are also things like toggle, enable collisions and activate when damaged. You want to like keep everything off except toggle, because that's gonna make it so that you only have to click once for the rocket to shoot. So you'll simply just attach it right at the middle of these things. This one's kinda tricky, just right there. And you can test how it works by duplicating it and then unfreezing it. I am currently down in the Vibe dungeon, and we got a filthy Persona Q Aegis right here in front of us. Piece of filth. Okay? So we're just gonna use this gun, point it right at him, and click this button that we have right here. So, oh fuck yeah, that's satisfying. So remember that the accuracy of the gun may take some time to calibrate, okay? There may be a couple of times where the bullets will go that way, the bullet will go that way, and you'll only have to like, you just have to try test it a lot and just test what works and what doesn't. And I'd also recommend no colliding, okay? No colliding the projectiles to the gun will maybe help the projectile not collide with the gun, which will then make it so that it'll just fly straight forward and not crash into the gun or anything. So that's my recommendation. So now that we've confirmed that the gun works, and that Bob is dead, we can move on to customizing the gun a little bit, shall we? So you want to start off with taking the material, going on the material section, and then choosing whatever material you want it to be. So it's basically gonna be like choosing your own texture, you know? Yeah, and I think I'm gonna go with this one. You simply click on the texture you like, and then press it, and then like apply it on whatever thing you want it to be on. I think that looks kinda ugly, but I'll be back with a design that I think actually looks kinda decent. Okay, so I've customized my gun a little bit, and I'm gonna call it the Red Bull Blaster, because I have the Monster Energy gun, so now I'm gonna have another energy drink themed gun. And as you can see, the color scheme fits. I've tried my best to like improvise a Red Bull can on the top. It didn't go well, but yeah, at least it kind of looks cool. And I've used the material for like the textures and stuff. Used color right over material, and you have to make sure that it's not here, that this slider is not here. You have to have it all the way up, so that the material doesn't become, or like the gun doesn't become invisible, because you have it all the way down, it'll become invisible, you see. I've also, hold up, let me just fix that. I've also used this paint, which is like, pretty much you can just draw stuff on it. You can place a smiley face on it, really cool. Let me just do that right now. And yeah, that's how you make a gun, pretty much. So that's gonna be it for this video. Hope you enjoyed, like and subscribe, and write any questions if you have any about the video, and I'll help you out. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video.